5.5 minutes of the session remaining. We've got our expected big hitters already inside the top 10. At the moment, it's something of a surprise to still see Bagnaia languishing down in 17th. But we know if anybody can unlock a lap time around Assen, it's going to be the Italian. As Joan Mir, as he so often does, all out of shape, isn't he, on the factory Honda. Good lap that's coming in by Mir as he looks to wrestle back a place inside the top 10. 13th up to 9th, he squeezes in, so that's put Moreira right in the danger zone now.
Yeah, we almost have to keep our expectations under control when we see a good first three sectors, because if you're not on board an Aprilia, you're just going to lose a heap of time through the Ramschuk and the final chicane. Pecco Bagnaia makes his way out of Distrubben, his final soft rear tyre available to him in this session. And Bagnaia, who is used to delivering special things here around Assen, has to deliver now.
I was going to say, I thought I could hear in my headset a crash or a disturbance. It's Jorge Martin then.
It's on his outlap.
The factory Aprilia ride. I mean, look at the yellow flags are playing. I mean, this could be really massive for Bagnaia. This could be huge. But look at the debris field there from Martin's destroyed Aprilia. Pecco Bagnaia then 17th when he left pit lane. This is going to be huge. Oh, he's clipped the curb. He's on the curb there. Well, we saw him run on the curve a few moments ago. This is going to be a big old get-off, is it, for Jorge Martin? Well, he said he was trying to find confidence on the factory Aprilia. That's not going to do much to restore some of his battered confidence as he goes sliding on his back through the grass, spins round and gets to look at his factory Aprilia probably destroying itself.
Yeah, this won't count for Pecco Bagnaia, I'm certain of it, because the yellows are still out coming through 12. It's going to be a fast lap time, but not a valid one for Pecco Bagnaia, who goes up into 5th place, but he's going to have to keep pushing on that because Jorge Martinez, Alex Marquez has now also gone down. I didn't know whether that noise in our headsets during the replay was the replay or whether someone else had crashed. Marquez, for the second time this afternoon, down at Distrubben.
Bagnaia's in some serious trouble here, isn't he? I mean, yellow flags a go-go on this current lap. He's right in the section now. His heart's going to sink because he's coming through turn 5, which is our information is where Alex Marquez has crashed out. You can still see on the graph the yellow flags at 12, 13, 14 and 15. Was the yellow flags crucially cleared by the time Pecco got to turn 5?
That might have just saved him, actually. The fact that they're going to clear the track up and we'll have a 3-minute restart might just have come to the rescue of Bagnaia. It's further round. It's not turn 5. It's clearly a faster crash than that for Alex Marquez. That was where his earlier crash was, and we certainly hope that we haven't got 2 injured Gresini riders now.
Yeah, that's a rather concerning sight, isn't it? Alex Marquez, last weekend in Brno on his return from injury. The neck and shoulder injuries. We're on board with that. Let's have a listen to this one. Big old get-off. That was on the acceleration point, wasn't it, between turns 10 and 11. Red flag then thrown with 3 minutes and 8 seconds of this practice session remaining. As Alex Marquez has crashed, Gresini Ducati GP26 gets removed from the scene. But of course, first and foremost, our concerns and our well wishes go to Alex. A neck fracture and 4 fractures in a right collarbone. This will be a tough one for Mark coming through that part of the circuit. So Alex Marquez then, it has been a bruising Friday afternoon for Gresini Ducati.
Yeah, Fermin Aldeguer, our latest information is that he went to the medical centre after he crashed a corner further round. He crashed through turn 12, the Moevenmeer corner, and Alex Marquez high-siding in between 10 and 11. The Mandeveen and the Duikersloot, confirmation that he is at least conscious, but clearly in a fair chunk of pain. Hopefully that pain subsides. There he is, at least sat upright. But clearly he's been bashed around a bit, and that's a rider who has had his fair share of knocks lately.
I would not be surprised if this might be the end of Alex Marquez's Grand Prix of the Netherlands. He withdrew, didn't he, last weekend in Brno after qualifying. He's been really shaken up by this one.
He wants to get up himself, doesn't he? But I think he might need to take the advice and just jump on a stretcher. Yeah,
you just wonder. He erred on the side of caution last weekend in Brno. Got through Friday practice, got through qualifying, and then decided to withdraw to give himself the best chance of being stronger and more competitive here in Assen. Well, yeah, Alex, battered, bruised, is able to at least walk away from the crash with the assistance of the medical team here, who were rapidly on the scene, as always, in Assen, and as they are all around the world. Another high-profile Spaniard, Jorge Martin, had a pretty fast get off himself at the end of this session. Look how quick this is going to go for Jorge. Boy, unsettled on the edge of the curve there, going through turn 12. I mean, through there, you are hauling, you are motoring, fifth gear, about 250 kilometers an hour when that front washes out for the 2024 world champion. He's quite fortunate there that he just was able to slide rather harmlessly through the initial tarmac run-off, and then on these back in the grass. Let's see the speed. 230 was it when he lost the front? 230 clicks.
About 140 miles an hour.
Do you know what? He's pretty fortunate there as well, that despite trying to dig into the grass, it didn't look like that RSGP got picked up and flipped and started to break itself up. This could completely transform his weekend, this. I mean, you would expect him to get into Q2 tomorrow if he is indeed in Q1, but then of course he's using up more rubber. Jack just confirming that Pecco Bagnaia then, for this last assault on a direct spot in Q2, used Michelin front tyre, and perhaps more crucially, it's a used rear tyre. So the 63 is under the cosh and some here. 3 minutes of the session remaining.
Surely it's the rear tyre that he had on when the red flag came out. There'll only been a lap or two on it, so there'll still be some useful performance from that tyre. Marc Marquez has taken his crash helmet off, so until the extra practice start session that follows this practice session, we won't see Marc Marquez in the remainder of the session to come. He's not involved or interested in the chaos that's likely to ensue in the next 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, tough, even for a rider who's got more mental toughness, arguably, than anybody else on the grid, to come through turn 11 and see his brother lying in the gravel trap, receiving more attention from the circuit medics. So Marc Marquez deciding that this session's over for him. Of course, we do have an additional practice start session immediately to follow this practice, with the introduction this weekend on the ban of whole shot devices. So the riders and teams are being given more time to adjust and adapt to those new rules. Just a reminder, if you're joining us for the first time this weekend, whole shot devices from this Grand Prix are forbidden. They are banned. I'm sure first and foremost at the moment, Marc Marquez is not really bothered about a 131.446 and fourth place. Yes, it's on his mind, but his prime thoughts right now will be for the welfare of his brother Alex, who had that real big crash, a real big get-off at the top end of the circuit between 10 and 11.
So Pedro Acosta is the rider immediately behind Bagnaia. Acosta's not safe, he's 8th. Then we've got a trio of Yamahas in this train who are trying to latch onto the back of Pecco Bagnaia to get towed somewhere near the top 10 himself. Bagnaia has to be millimetre perfect on his last lap of Assen this afternoon. A Q2 place rests on it.
Yeah, he didn't want anybody ahead of him. He didn't want any kind of yellow flag drama to impede him once again. So with Acosta for company, a couple of riders ahead of him, but not right in front of Bagnaia as he goes through the Strube and then turn 5. Pedro Acosta getting a very close look at the colours he'll be on in 2027. As they now power up to through 6, through 7, the high-speed change direction, right, and then left. Then they'll go right up to turn 8, Steckenval. This is impressive by Bagnaia, although it might not be good enough because Enea Bastianini, who's just ahead of him on circuit, up into P8. So 2 Italians looking for late rallies here in practice.
Yeah, Costa is almost defending his place in the top 10. Pecco Bagnaia, the rider immediately ahead of him on track, is trying to potentially take it off him, because Bastianini, as Matt mentioned, is going to go over the line before this pair and potentially knock them each down a place. Who else is also improving? We've got personal bests all over our timing screens, because of course we've got that group of Yamahas that are also in this train. Miller, Toprak and Rins also trying to move themselves up the order.
Well, this is it. 10 seconds left. Here is Enea Bastianini on the Tech 3 KTM into the Timmer chicane. Is he going to be pushing himself up inside the top 10? Checker flag is out, and so it's now or never. Bagnaia has to nail this final chicane. Enea goes 5th, Acosta 3rd. Over the line, Bagnaia. He got in. Pecco Bagnaia crucially for the triple Assen winner in MotoGP has done it. Yeah, Davide Tardozzi has seen the screens. They know that Pecco Bagnaia, with some last lap, a 131.384, that was pressure. That was pressure big time on Pecco, and he delivered. So, Alex Marquez, despite his huge get-off in that session, which brought out the red flags. I think Alex, if he's able to continue in this Grand Prix of the Netherlands, well, he's got a place in Q2 in 10th spot. Great last lap that by Bastianini, go up into 8th. Acosta did get up into 3rd with a 1:31.310. Fabio Quartararo, is there anything going to happen late on for the factory Yamaha rider? No, well, it's not. Not anymore, because he's made a mistake at De Bolt. So your top 10 then, your Q2 occupants, steady. Count to 10, yeah, Fabio.
He is ticking.
Count to 10. Easy for us to say here in the commentary box, but in boiling conditions, the tempers are going to boil over here, aren't they, for Fabio Quartararo? Once again, this is becoming an all too familiar sight. A frustrated Fabio Quartararo. No frustration, though, for this young man. World champion Marco Bezzecchi into Q2. So too, Ralph Fernandez. Brilliant by the Spaniard in 2nd. Pedro Acosta is 3rd. Agura. Bagnaia with a brilliant late lap of 1:31.384. Safety through. Marc Marquez through to Q2 as well. The Gian Antonio, Enea Bastianini, Jorge Martin and Alex Marquez. Martin and Alex Marquez, despite their massive high-speed crashes towards the tail end of that session, have got spots in Q2.